So what is a retrospective for you, Cait?
Well, a retrospective is something that has evolved from agile teams in software development. What happens is those teams run in sort of 2 week cycles, which they call sprints. And at the end of each sprint of activities, you review what you've managed to do and what you didn't manage to do, but you also have a separate session called a retro or a retrospective, in which you say, okay, then what did we do really well? And what did we maybe not do quite so well at, and that as a learning point for, okay, how can we do this better next time, how do we work better as a team? So the whole reason for the retro is to capture anything that might be going slightly off the rails or miscommunication or anything like that, but it's also about learning and trusting in each other as a team. So it really helps with that kind of team development stuff.
And how do you see a retrospective being different to an end of project review or a lessons learned session?
Well, those kind of reviews are really useful for getting everybody in the room who has had anything to do with the project, and those kind of and making sure that you do lessons learned and you absorb that into projects. I mean, that can work, but what tends to happen with those kind of things is it's at the end of a project which has closed, so it's actually very difficult to absorb those lessons into new projects because different people are working on them. It's a different configuration of people, and also things that began to go a little bit wrong up here probably weren't quite caught and weren't dealt with at the time, and by the time you get to the end of the project, big disaster, gnarly, horrible things, as opposed to very quickly nipping issues and problems, and particularly with miscommunications, because they always happen because everyone's human, in the bud straight away. That's the big difference, I think, is yes, it's important to have those things at the end, which are as much a celebration of the end of the project as possible as it is a sort of lessons learned thing, but it equally just having that team development continually through any project helps the project come in more on time, in a good solid way, so that everyone is up to speed with exactly what it is.
And what would you use as your main primers prior to starting the retrospective and getting everybody in the mood and mindset for the retrospective?
Well, in the agile world, these kind of things are called ceremonies, which is a really funny word, and it's a bit of a weird word. People think it's a bit peculiar because it's just a meeting, right? And it is a meeting, but it is a very good thing to center a meeting at the beginning so that we make sure that everyone in the room is actually in the room, if you see what I mean, as opposed to thinking about their email or whatever. And so as well as setting up something on the wall to say, okay, these are we're going to put yellow stickies up to say, right, this is what we all individually think we did well, etc., etc. There's a kind of a statement of intent about we are here to learn, we're here to learn from each other, we're here to evolve as a team. And it's a really good idea to sort of think about the needs of the meeting and state them up front, so they're not just some objectives. By the end of this meeting, we will have gone through everything. But we also want to have a good transformational meeting and something that's really going to support us as a team about learning and getting better. And stating that up front is really, really good practice.
Great, thank you.